Yeah, okay. Thank you, Ilaya. So, day seven, I welcome you all the participants. So, do you have any doubt last class regarding NEP and comprehension? I hope you everyone understood about NEP and comprehension. So today we are discussing about people development and environment and unit 9. Um, the unit 9 five question will be coming. So the what are the major topics also? What are the syllabus in this unit? So uh, first is the development and environment, millennium development and sustainable development goals, and human environmental interaction. So anthropologic activities and environmental issues, local uh, sorry, local, regional level and global, various types of the pollution, and next is the impact of pollutant in on human health, different types of energy sources, and what are the national hazards and disaster, and what kind of mitigation strategy used for protection from national natural hazards, and Environmental Protection Act 1980s, Protection Act 1986, National Action Plan Committee, Montreal Protocol, Rio Summit. So there are so much environmental convention is there. So we will look at one by one. So before going to development and millennium goals, we need to understand the basics of the environment. So, what is the environment? Environment is everything that is around us. It can be living things or non-living things. It include physical, chemical, or other natural force. They constantly interact with it and adapt themselves to condition in their environment. Basically, environment is everything that is around us. And ecology coined by Ernest Haeckel in 1869, study of the organism and organism in their natural home. So, ecology is the scientific study of the relation that living organism have with the respect to each other, their natural environment and ecosystem. So, the ecology function in three level: individual, population, and community, and ecological footprint. So, ecological footprint, the measure of human consumption of natural resource in comparison of Earth's ecological capacity to regenerate income. So, as a human, how much amount of natural resources they consumption, instead of how much natural resources available on Earth, and how to they regenerate. This measurement is called the ecological footprint. It account in the two level and micro level. Micro is the individual and macro level is national or area level. So, ecological footprint measured in global hectares (GHA), and ecosystem defined by the Arthur Tansley in 1935. So basically, ecosystem is a complex of the living organism, their physical environment, and all their interrelationship in particular unit of the phase. It is called a ecosystem. So next is the ecotone. It is a translational area of the vegetation between the two different plant community. Example, forest and grassland. Uh, uh, these are the major terminology in the environmental literature. So next is the environmental. Basically, the two in ecosystem there is a two types of component is there. One is the biotic and another is the abiotic. Biotic is the non-living things. Abiotic is the biotic is the living things. Abiotic is the non-living things. And these are the difference between biotic and abiotic. Biotic factors, including all living components present in an ecosystem. Abiotic factors, all non-living and physical. non-living things. Example, physical condition and chemical factor that influence on the ecosystem. Example, biotic resource include all flora and fauna. Here, sunlight, water, humidity, pH, temperature, and salinity, and precipitation, altitude, type of soil, and mineral, and so on. Biotic resource depends on the biotic factors, survival and reproduction. Abiotic resources uh, depend completely independent, but biotic resources depend on the abiotic resource. An origin is the originate from the biosphere, and abiotic component originate litho, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. So these are the major difference between biotic and abiotic. And in biotic component, there are some biotic resources, there are some components there, and three components: the producer, consumer, and decomposer. Producer is the produce their own food, like example is the plants, and consumer is the who depend on the producer for their food, example animal, human. And the decomposer is the which microorganism break down the organic matter into inorganic compound, and this food as process derive their nutrition. In consumers, there are two types is there: secondary, sorry, in consumer, there are different types of consumer is there: herbivores and carnivores. Herbivore means only feed plants, example rabbit and insects. And carnivores is those animals that eat other animals, and they are two types. One is secondary carnivores and tertiary carnivores. So secondary means feed on the herbivore, example frog and small fish. So the for frog and small fish, their food is the carnivores, like rat and insects. And territory carnivorous feed means snake and big fish. For territory, their food is the people. Someone asking the group, what is today chapter? People, environment, and development. So these are the different consumers: herbivore, carnivore. Carnivore is two types: secondary and tertiary. And tetraviers is the dead organism. Example: earthworms, crabs, and ants. So the three component of biotic sphere. Consumer, so producer, consumer, decomposer. And the next is the tropic level. So basically, you all people read in the in your secondary education or school education related environmental things. So these are the basic things. So next, based on the biotic factor, we form the ecological pyramid, like plant and plant, producer, consumer, decomposer. This is the basics of the environmental science or environmental. So on tropic level and ecological, so what I said before, the tropic level form of a pyramid with the producer at the top, at the bottom, then primary, then secondary, consumers, and the territory consumer. So in lower, it is a triangle shape, that the pyramid, like in bottom level producer, and second is the consumer, primary consumer, and secondary consumer, and territory carnivores, and final stage is the decomposers. So and next is the eutrophic. Eutrophic means water bodies having a good quantity of minerals and having the supra optimum growth of the plant. So eutrophic basically in water bodies like lake or and river, lake and river, some good minerals will be there that will help the growth of the plant. That's called the eutrophic. And oligotrophic means water body deficiency in the minerals and organic growth. So which are the sorry, in water bodies there is very minerals and organic minerals are very less, because of the mineral organic growth is not efficient. That is the oligotrophic. And dystrophic, water bodies rich in undecomposed organic. Example, fogs on marshy lakes. So mostly decomposed organic matter is there in that water bodies. It's called the dystrophic. These are a different type of eutrophic, oligotrophic, and dystrophic. What kind of water bodies, and based on their quantity, minerals and organic things. So question majorly two three question paper they asking what is the eutrophic and oligotrophic and dystrophic is match the following or direct question. So please give importance these things. And biosphere means there are different types of ecosystem around us which involve living organism and non-living things. So we combine up the all the ecosystem present on the earth, that is called the biosphere. So biomes means the territorial portion of the biosphere divided into biomes. Example, desert, grassland, tropical forests and rainforest. Habitat means the natural environment in which organism or population normally live is called habitat. So basically, biosphere is a combine of the all the ecosystem, living things or non-living things. And bio means in the biosphere, in particular kind of landscape, it's called the biomes, like desert and grassland and tropical forest or rainforest. These are the biomes. And habitat in the area or natural environment which an organism or population are live. So in particular area in desert or in grassland, some of the organism or some other living things only the will be living. That is called the habitat. So these are the different kind of the terminology in the environment. And the sphere of the earth. So basically earth is we divide into four sphere. One is the lithosphere and atmosphere and biosphere and hydrosphere. Biosphere means all life on earth, and atmosphere is the gases that surrounded earth. Lithosphere is the solid air, and hydrosphere is the water. So the sphere, the name of the sphere came from the Derrick words. So stono, litho, atmo, air, and hydro is the water, bio is the life. These words are Greek. So these are the four types of the atmosphere. So we look at one by one. So mostly atmosphere is the very important in this four types of spheres. So I only go through the atmosphere. So atmosphere, there are different layers in the atmosphere. One is the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. So troposphere is a normal weather condition where we living is, above the cloud and the rain and the flying the hot air flown and airplane. This is called the troposphere. The distance is 0 to 10 miles, and temperature is 62 Fahrenheit to minus 60 degree Fahrenheit. And next is the stratosphere. The in stratosphere ozone layer is there. It is very important in question in which atmosphere ozone layer is there. So answer is the stratosphere. Please remember it. Ozone layer is there in the stratosphere. And mesosphere, there are some meteors is there. So distance is 32 to 85 miles, and temperature is 32 degree Fahrenheit to minus 130 degree Fahrenheit. And fourth one is the thermosphere. It is a satellite will be the satellite launching satellite. They are staying in that sphere. And on Karman line, the start of the outer space. So Karman line means outer space is start. That is line called the Karman line. So thermosphere distance is 86 to 372 miles. And ionization process happen in the thermosphere. So maybe this question will be coming, which sphere, with layer of atmosphere ionization process will be happen. So thermosphere. And exosphere is the outer outer of the atmosphere layer. There is a distance is 960 to 6,200 miles. Up to temperature is the 2,700 Fahrenheit. Those space is they are launched in that space in this space. So these are the different types of layers. So basically give important status where there is a ocean layer and ionization process happen in the thermosphere and normal weather condition is a troposphere. So next is the development and environment. So millennium development and sustainable development. So even United Nations given the concept of the human development. So the measure the achievement in the key dimension of human development where the emphasis of the long and healthy life, being knowledgeable and being knowledgeable in education sector and have a decent standard of living. So HDI Human Development Index every year even measure the all over, who are the members in the UN country. They are measuring human development index based on the indicators. So in long and healthy life expectancy at birth and the life expectancy index and knowledge in education level expected year of the schooling and mean year of the schooling. In knowledge education they are calculated two indicator. One is expected years of the schooling and second one is mean years of the schooling. So average year of schooling and expected which age they are coming to for the schooling. And third one is the per capita GNI per capita. So based on the economic related, they are calculated human index. So this question will be important. The human index India rank of the HDI is 132 in 2021 to 22 among the 191 countries. So this is important in India's rank in 132 in HDI rank. So next is the Millennium Development. So Millennium Development, there are 8 Millennium Development Goal is there and 18 targets and 48 indicators. So basically Millennium Development Goals were 8 international development goals for the year 2015. It happened. It established Millennium Summit of the United Nations in 2000. So following the goals adopted in that summit. So in 2000 in UN there are some summit happened that is called Millennium Summit on the United Nations. So there they discuss about the development of the people and environment. They proposed one goal, that is a Millennium Development Goal, that is 8 goals and 18 target and 48 indicators. So one is to eradicate the extreme poverty and hunger, and second is to achieve universal primary education, and third one is to promote gender equality and empower women, and fourth one is to reduce child mortality, and fifth one is to improve the maternal health, sixth is to combat HIV and AIDS, malaria and other diseases, and seventh one to ensure the environmental sustainability, and eighth one to develop the global partnership for the development. So the question will be coming chronological order. Please order the chronological order, the Millennium Development Goal, they are rearrange the order and we need to arrange the correct order. Otherwise in different type of question like what are the goals in particular, what are the key points in the particular goal. So goal number 1 is eradicate extreme poverty and hunger. So between 1990 and 2004 population below national poverty line. So half of the population level they will try to below the poverty line. So and second is the poverty, sorry, half of the population proportion of the people who suffer from hunger, they decrease the people are who hunger and strike in that to 1990 to 2050 they will try to half of the population. And second goal is achieve the universal primary education. So ensure that 2015 every children everywhere complete the full course of the primary education. So their main keep agenda is the in every children before the 2015 complete the full course of the primary education. Primary education to 1 to 5. We need this is second goal, and third goal is promote the gender equality eliminated gender disparity in primary and secondary education, preferably by 2015, and all level of education no later than 2015. So in India or all over the world, there is some there are large huge disparity between the gender. So they need to promote gender equality and empower the woman. And fourth, in the reduce the child mortality, reduced by 2/3 under the 5 mortality rate between the 1990. So reduce the child mortality rate by the 2/3 of this. So this question, I think 2-3 times they asking in which year or in which goal in child mortality reduce the child mortality 2/3 or 1/3 or 50-50, like question will be, option will be like coming like this. So answer is reduced by the 2/3 of the child mortality. And goal fifth is improve the maternal health, reduced by the 3/4 of the maternal mortality ratio. And sixth is the decrease the HIV and malaria and other diseases, and ensure the environmental sustainability, and develop a global partnership or development. So we incorporate with the private and public and government partnership, that is called a global partnership for the development. So these are the main and very important. Mostly we will accept one question from this chapter, Millennium Development Goals. There are 8 goals are there, and 48 indicators and 18 targets. Okay, next is the sustainable development goals. So Millennium Development Goals, here is the 2000 to 2015, and after 2015 again the UN nation or even nation or again they are to join together and set up new goals. So in 2015 they set up a goal for 2013 agenda for sustainable development adopted by UN and 193 member states. There are 70. So millennium is the 8 goals, and sustainable development is the 17 goals and 169 target, and millennium is the 8 goals and 18 target. Here the 169 target. So the goal is that 2015 to 2013. And what is the need of the sustainable development? So development which needs the present without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own. So we need to work for the future generation needs. For that we need we need sustainable development. So different areas, climate change and scarcity of the resources, and over exploitation of the natural resources. So climate change is the temperature is high, and rising the sea level, the scarcity of resource and food production for the next 40 years. We need to double of what we consume now, and nearly 2/3 of the world population water scarcity will be happen 2025, and over exploitation is the decline of 60% of marine fisheries will be declined, and 1 million of species on the track of the extinction. So these are the need for the sustainable development. So sustainable development, that definition given by Brundtland Commission in report Common Future in 1987. So this is very important question. 2-3 times they asking the sustainable development in which commission? Brundtland Commission. Here is the 1987 in Common Future. So these are the core element of the sustainable development. There are 3 core elements: social, economic, and environmental. These 3 elements, when they meet mutually, that is called the sustainability. Social mean quality of the life, education, community of the development, and equal opportunity, law and ethics. And economic is the smart growth and long range planning, cost saving, R&D spending on cost of living. On environmental resource management and environmental protection, habitat restoration and preservation. And these are the core elements. So, and what are the 5 P's of the sustainable development? One is the planet. Planet means natural resource and climate for the future generation. And second is the people. So, poverty and hunger and all forms of dignity and equality, we will give all the dignity, ensure the dignity and equality. Prosperity means ensure the prospers and the filling the lives and harmony and nature. Without the disease, we give the harmony and peaceful harmony with nature. And peace is the peaceful, just and inclusive society. There is no we not create the inequality society. We need to equality society for the just within the inclusive society. And partnership, implement the agenda through the solid global partnership, public-private partnership. And these are the 5 P's of the sustainable development. And 17 goals. Number 1 is no poverty. Number 2 is the zero hunger. Number 3 is the good health and well-being. Number 4 is the quality education. Number 5 is the gender equality. Number 6 is the clean water and sanitation. Number 7 is the affordable and clean energy. 8 is a decent work and economic growth, and 9 is the industry innovation and infrastructure. 10th is the reduced inequalities, and 11th is the sustainable cities and communities, and 12th is the responsible consumption and production. 13 is the climate action, and 14 is the life below the water, and 15 is the life on the land, and 16 the peace, justice and strong institution, and 17 is the partnership for the goals. These are the 17 sustainable development goals. So this is a very important part in the most important chapter in this unit number 9, Millennium Development Goals and Sustainable Development Goals. Millennium is the 8 goals and 18 targets and 48 indicators, and sustainable is the 17 goals and 165 indicators. So this is the difference between sustainable goals and Millennium Development Goals. And human and environmental interaction, anthropologic activities and their impacts on environment. So environment and human beings are interrelated. Environment gives us water, food, fuel, medicine, and building material, and etc. So anthropogenic activities is the human activities that is directly or indirectly affect the natural environment. So what human doing in this environment that will affected nature directly, indirectly, that is called the anthropogenic activities. And these activities create the 169. Anjali is asking some question related. Okay. So anthropogenic activities. So here human activity directly affected, directly or indirectly affected the natural environment. So type of the anthropogenic activities. So agriculture, energy production, and transportation, construction, industrial activities, and pest management. So agriculture in modern period, we using the different types of practices and like what pesticide and different kind of things used in the farming that will create the deforestation and soil degradation and water pollution and green gas emission. That is in the agriculture sector. And energy production in power industries and transportation and household, there are the fossil fuel combustion. So primary energy has lead to the air pollution, climate change, and ocean acidification. And transportation, so these are from our transportation create the more impact on that environment and air pollution. And construction, so For the urban development, we create the more infrastructure, so that will affect the land degradation, and they will cut the tree and create the building there. There is a deforestation and habitat fragmentation. And industrial activity, such as the in tribal areas, they are in mining activities for the economic growth, but they also contribute water and air pollution, soil degradation, and habitat destruction. Waste management, they are poorly managed in waste and purely dumped in the land. They created the soil degradation and soil erosion. So these are the types of the anthropogenic activities, and the anthropogenic activities, their impact and on the environment. One is the which one? Deforestation and pollution and climate change, and soil degradation and overpopulation, loss of biodiversity, unsustainable resources. So deforestation, cutting the trees, and we create the deforestation. And pollution, because of our activity, air also polluted, water also polluted, soil, and we create the noise pollution. And climate change, because of climate change, temperature, high temperatures are rising, and different kind of raining pattern happen there, and sea level is rising. And soil degradation, because of the air and water pollution, there are some acid rain effect happen. That rain will create the soil degradation. Overpopulation, because of the anthropogenic activities, overpopulation, they're exploiting the natural resources. Because of the environmental impact, so loss of biodiversity, because of the all kind of the pollution, that will affect the biodiversity and unsustainable resources. We didn't use the unsustainable sustainable resource. We use only unsustainable resource. That is the impact on the environment. So what are the mitigate to negative impact? So how to rectify the anthropogenic activities on the environment? Three are reduce, reuse, and recycle, and switch is the renewable energy. Renewable energy means which are the energy we reuse. That is called we can produce again. That is a renewable energy. Plant the trees. So we if we plant the trees, they absorbing the air pollution, and they useful for the rain, and useful the environmental friend products. No, don't use the plastic kind of things, and support the conservation efforts. So in conservation means some kind of indigenous method used for the environment. So that is a conversion efforts. And mitigation measures. So how we mitigate the anthropogenic impact? So we use the alternative energy sources and sustainable agriculture, like organic farming and green transportation. Only the very less related pollution created vehicles we will be using, and waste reduction and recycling, and ecosystem conservation. So these are the mitigation of measures for the anthropogenic impact. And question will be coming like what is the anthropogenic? So how they affect the environmental? So this kind of question will be coming. And next is the environmental issues, local and regional and global level, and different types of pollution. We will look at one by one. And so these are the common picture for the anthropogenic activities. I will share the PPT. You guys look on it. I will go next slide. So what are the impacts? Food security, insecurity, extreme weather events, and sea level rise, and extreme heat, energy, and public health. These are the major impact on the anthropogenic activities, in particular in India. And environmental issues, the issues may emanate from the local level and regional and global level. In 1972, the UN World Conference on Human Environmental Health at Stockholm, So this is a very important conference. So Human Environment Well Conference 1972 happened in Stockholm. They are highlighting different issues on the different level of all over the world. So the same kind of issues in the Rio summit. So there are different local level, regional level, and global level. Local level, like in particular location like water shortage in area, soil erosion, and some local forest and different pollution level in same city and landslide. And regional level, it's some regional issues, desertification and droughts and floods and soil erosion, rise in sea level and deforestation. These are the region level. And global level is the climate change and global warming. So high level of the drought and desertification or crop failure, melting the polar ice, coastal flooding, displacement of major vegetation regime. So this will cause by the climate change and global warming. And northern divide. So North world has just 20 over the population, but they consume the 80% of the world energy. So we divide the north world, north and south. So mostly south are the developing countries and north are the developed countries. That developed country consume the they have only 20 population, but they consume 80% of the world energy. So this kind of the divide is there, and that is a global issue. And biodiversity, we loss of the diversity of the life, including both flora and fauna. And next is the types of the pollution. So pollution is the negative or undesirable changes in the environment, which it usually addition to something hazardous or detrimental to the environment or ecosystem. So types of the pollution: air, water, soil, noise, and light. So air pollution is the changing the composition of the air, addition harmful gas or dust particle into, causes is the releases of the poisonous gases and greenhouse gases from the vehicles and factories, dust particles from the construction work, and affects the it case many diseases like asthma, bronchitis, and health breathing related issues happen by the air pollution. And water pollution is the contamination of the water sources by releasing the harmful substance. Dumping the causes is the dumping the wastewater and harmful chemical sewage and garbage in the rivers or lakes, bathing and washing the clothes in the lakes and the rivers. These are the water pollution causes. And effect is the jaundice and dysentery and typhoid and cholera will be coming by the water pollution. Soil pollution is the release of the harmful substance in the fertile soil, which make it then infertile, and causes the excess use of the fertilizer and pesticide, deforestation and dumping of the garbage and harmful chemicals from the factories. And the effect is it make a land infertile for agriculture purposes and also causes the disease. Noise pollution is the any sound that above the comfort level and unpleasant, like horn the vehicle, causes is a horn the vehicle, loudspeaker, and music, bursting of the cracker, machineries, and construction work. So these are the noise pollution cause. And effect is it is harmful for ears and can cause stress, anxiety, and disturbance in the sleep. And light is the light excessive use of the artificial lights for the illumination of the urban area. Example, cause is the street light, shopping mall lights, neon signs, and illuminated signboards, and in most home and business. And effect is it disturbs the natural patterns of the wildlife, hunting, like hunting, navigation, and the obscures the stars in the night sky. So these are the different types of environmental pollution. We look one by one. So air pollution. So the clean air contains of the 78% of nitrogen and 20.94% of oxygen, and remaining is the 0.97%. So gases of the carbon dioxide, helium, krypton, argon, and xenon nitric oxide. So that air pollution means harmful substance or some harmful substance degrade in air quality of the natural atmosphere condition due to the pollution is called air pollution. So air pollution we can divide two types of, one is the primary and the secondary. Primary pollution, so the pollutant enter the atmosphere from direct source, and secondary pollutant means it is not directly emitted from the source. These pollutants are reacted with chemical reacted with pollutant primary pollutant or certain atmosphere constituents. It's called the secondary pollutant. So primary pollution, suspended particle matter, SPM, and oxides of the carbons, hydrocarbons, sulfur oxide, nitrogen oxide, chlorofluorocarbon, lead, lead. And secondary pollutant is the sulfur trioxide. That compound reacted with the reacted with the oxygen, sulfur dioxide reacted with the oxygen will coming sulfur trioxide. And smoke formation, two types of smoke is a sulfurs and London smoke, and photochemical or Los Angeles smoke, and ground level ozone and acid rains. Acid is a nitrogen and sulfur oxide reacted with water in atmosphere coming as a acid rain, and peroxidal nitrate. So these are the types of the air pollution. This is important session. The question important part in that air pollution. The question like which are the primary pollutants or which are the secondary pollutants. They are giving only three primary pollution and one secondary pollutant. So otherwise they are asking like pan is the primary, which one is the secondary pollution? Pan. They pan many times they asking pan is the secondary pollutant or primary pollutant. They will question asking in that reason and assertion or statement one two type of question in types of air pollution. So please give important in this section. And next is the following the major government initiative to the monitor the air pollution. National Air Quality Monitoring Program, National Ambient Air Quality Standard, and system of Ministry of system of air quality and weather forecasting. So National Air Quality Monitoring Program means they are measuring the air pollutants like PM10 is the particulate matter, 10 micron, 10 is the size of the micron, so 10 micron. PM 2.5 is the particulate matter, 2.5 micron. NO2, nitrogen oxide, sulfur oxide, carbon monoxide, ozone, and ammonia, and these eight these eight pollutants they are measuring. That is called National Air Quality Monitoring Program. National Ambient Air Quality Standard is a arsenic, nickel, benzene, and benzoprene. So with that 8 pollutant, they add the extra 4 elements: arsenic, nickel, and benzene and benzoprene. Around 12 pollutant they measure. That is called National Ambient Air Quality Standard. System of Air Quality and Weather Forecasting. It will created by Ministry of Earth Science and Government of India. So based on the air quality index, we categorize the air quality in 6 categories that will recommend by the IIT Kanpur. So if air quality is a good, is the air quality index is 0 to 50. Satisfactory is the 5100. Moderately the polluted 101 in 20. So poor 201 to 300 air quality index. Very poor 301 to and 400. Severe is the 401 to 500. So these are the air quality index. They will question asking satisfactory, what is the air quality index, or poor, which is the what is the air quality index. So this kind of question will coming in this section. And there are some aerosol is there are stable suspension of solid and liquid particles. Some of the solid and liquid particles in the air, that is called the aerosol, that will affect the weather condition or blocking the solar radiation. And mist is called the liquid droplet. Dust is the solid particles, and fume is the hot vapor of the metal. Smoke is an aerosol when a mixture of the liquid and solid particle as a result. Plume is the geometrical form of smoke, and smoke is the mixture and smoke and fog. Though this question is important. Smoke is the mixture of the smoke and fog. So this is a very important. 2-3 times they asking what is the smoke. This combine of the or mixture of the smoke and fog. So these are the major air pollutant related chemical substance. So ozone, where its sources regular hexane and sulfur dioxide thermal power plant and industries, and nitrogen oxide thermal power plant. So the question will be coming, what is the resources for sulfur dioxide pollutant. So they will given the thermal power plant or industry or the vehicle or some other sources will giving. We will need to correct answer. I'll give it the correct answer. So these are the major: ozone, sulfur, nitrogen from thermal power plant, carbon monoxide in combustion of the fossil fuels on wood stove and cigarette smoking, hydrogen sulfide, oil refineries and chemical industries, hydrogen cyanide, blast furnace and fumigation and chemical industry, ammonia is the fertilizer industry and dye making, bleaching and explosive, and post-gen chemical and dye making industry, and volatile organic vaporize and is some example gasoline and benzene. Arsenic is arsenic soldering. SPM solid suspended particle matter. PM is a particulate matter. Basically in manufacturing process, these are the pathological. So what are the disease will be? So you can go through this slide. I'm skip the diseases. Next I'm going the water pollution. Water pollution, it is the presence of harmful substance in the water body. It makes water unfit for intended to use. So there are two types of water pollution based on the sources. One is a point sources, another is the non-point sources. Non-point sources is from the single or we trace the source. So we can trace the that water where they coming from, which place. We can trace that place, that is called the point source. A 9.4 sources scattered cannot be traced, or sources like pesticides, pesticide or runoff, sediment pollution from lands. So this is a point source. We can identify that polluted water came from this, and non-point sources. Different sources, point sources are coming meet one point. They coming make huge level, that is called a non-point. So this is the types of water pollution. So what are the impact in water pollution on the life, like in environment? So oxygen depletion. So in what if the water is polluted, that water contaminate mixed with the water bodies, and um, uh, they decrease the oxygen level, that is called the oxygen. So that contaminated substance, they decrease the oxygen in that water bodies, that is called oxygen depletion. And biomagnification is the accumulation of toxic chemical in the bodies. We move from more produce. So that toxic chemical uh, 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 spreaded to other environmental eco people, like biosphere, like if that water drinking by plant, that plant eaten by some animals, and that animals eaten by humans. So the substance will spread to one by one. That is called the biomagnification. Eutrophication is the inorganic nutrients is one of the agriculture field reaching the water bodies, increase the nutrients. So from the agriculture field, the water lead to the water bodies, and their substance, sorry, nutritional content will be high from because of the nutrient. Some alga growth will be there. So that is called the eutrophication. Because of the nutrient content in water body, alga is the growth, that is called the eutrophication. These three impact is very important. What is the eutrophication they will call, or biomagnification, or oxygen depletion. And next is the effect of the water pollution in that human life. So such as they create virus, bacteria, parasitic protozoa and worms, and jaundice, cholera, typhoid and amoeba. And marine life, they in polluted water, they created tank spills on oil coating. Tank spill means small amount of oil spread across the large areas of water that prevent the oxygen into the air from the dissolving water. So oxygen that oil spill prevent the air into the water bodies, that will create organism could not breathe proper. That is called the tanker spill. Oil coating is a poisoning the marine birds and seagulls. That is a impact of the marine life. So these are the Indian standards of the drinking water, and please give importance this tabular column, because of the they asking what are the permittable or desirable level for the pH in the water 6.2 8.5, and what is the chloride level in the drinking water, so 0.3 millimicron. So question will be coming like this, so go through this slide, very important this one. And next is the soil and its pollution. Soil is the contamination of soil pollution means contamination of soil with anomalous concentration of toxic substance. And the causes of the soil pollution is poor agricultural practice, improper solid waste management, and unsafe storage, and hazardous chemical in nuclear waste, and leachate from mismanagement landfills, and uncontrolled dumping of waste from household and industrial plants mining. So these are the causes of the soil pollution. And noise pollution, because of the soil pollution, acid, the causes is the effect is the acid rain. So sulfur and nitrous sulfur reacted with the air, it will create the acid rain, that is called acid rain. So because of the soil acid rain, soil polluted. And next is the noise pollution. Noise pollution may be dependent at the environmental noise that causes physiological and psychological damage if the volume is high or exposure is a prolonged. Noise is also depend unwanted sound where it is a sources or stress. Measurement of sound is a decibel. So what are the common sources of the noise pollution? Sound we measured by the decibel unit. So common source of noise pollution: industries, vehicles, sound amplifiers, crackers, passenger aircraft, and fighter jets. So these are the very important table for permissible sound levels and typical average of decibel levels. So in industrial area, daytime 75 decibel and nighttime is a 65 decibel. Commercial area daytime 65, nighttime 55 decibel, and residential area daytime 50, nighttime is 45. Silence on daytime is 50 and nighttime is 40. This is the decibel level, permissible sound level in the different area. And different source. Threshold hearing is 0 decibel, and quiet whisper is 30. Normal conversation 60 decibel. Loud singing is 75 decibel. Automobile 80. Jet plane is 130 decibel. So many times the question asking from this table column. So what is the permissible sound level of the silent zone in night time or daytime, or what is the quiet whisper decibel level? 30 decibel. So this is very important. Please give important this section, noise pollution. And other than this pollution, there are different, is the light pollution and waste or carpet pollution and radioactive pollution. Carpet, which means there are no proper waste disposable mechanism. That carpets get accumulated, which cause the carpet pollution. For this, we need a proper waste disposal system that will not pollute our environment. And radioactive pollution, the physical pollution, it is a physical pollution of the living organism and their environment as a release of the radioactive substance like uranium, plutonium, this kind of radioactive substance we release it to environment, that will create the radioactive pollution, like a nuclear weapon, nuclear war, nuclear weapon production, mining of the radioactive ores, handling. From there, the radioactive substance will be coming. So these are the radioactive pollutions. And next is the natural and energy resources. Natural resources is naturally provided such as soil, air, water, and mineral, coal, sunshine, animal, and plant. Artificial is the resources which have been developed by the human beings during the growth of the civilization. Natural means it will get from direct nature, and artificial it will created by human self. Resources are two types: natural and artificial. Natural we divided to exhaustible and inexhaustible. Exhaustible is the petroleum. Inexhaustible is the solar energy, wind, rainfall, and tidal and energy. Tidal energy. And again, we can divide into two types of renewable energy and non-renewable energy. Renewable energy is the wind, water, forest, non-renewable coal and petroleum, iron, and biological spaces. So types of natural, like before we seen that this the flow chart, inexhaustible resource. It cannot be exhausted by the human consumption. Example, sandy, clay, water in ocean. And exhaustible, it can be created by the which are available in the limited quantities, are going to be exhausted as a result of the continuous causes. The exhaustible release is the it available in limited quantities in air, but it will be going exhausted in the continuous process. So, and renewable sources, some of the exhaustible resource we can naturally regenerated after the consumption. That is called the renewable resources. And non-renewable resources we cannot be replaced after the use of the energy. That is called the non-renewable renewable resources. And example, heat energy and cooking, heating, fluffing, and transporting. These are the non-renewable energy sources. And type of the energy sources: conventional energy source, the conventional source of energy, and non-conventional source of energy. Conventional is a which are easily available. Non-conventional is a there are different form of this in common practice. So conventional, mostly fossil fuels. Conventional, non-renewable, conventional, renewable. We can divide it to conventional, non-renewable, mostly fossil fuels like coal, oil, natural gas, and conventional renewable is mostly non-fossil gases, firewood and cattle dung and farm. Non-conventional is a solar, hydro energy, wind energy, nuclear, hydrogen, geothermal, biogas, tidal energy, and biofuel. So types of the renewable energies: hydropower, gravitational potential energy, or water converted in the electrical energy, that is called hydropower. Wind energy, wind energy, kinetic energy, or kinetic energy of wind converted into electricity by wind turbine. Use of the turbine, we converted kinetic energy into the electricity. And solar energy, so sun energy turned into the electricity, heated energy by the solar panel or solar heater. And biomass, energy obtained from the plants and animals. Burning wood produces the heat energy. Geothermal, heat energy trapped underneath the we trapped the heat from the air, that is called the geothermal energy. And ocean energy, and from the thermal and tidal energy we converted electric into by the turbines and other system, that is called the ocean energy. So by the tidal we created the energy by turbines. It's called the ocean. Hydrogen is a potential chemical energy converted in the electrical and by air. Hydrogen fuel cell. So these are the major types of renewable energy sources. And natural hazards. So what are the hazards or disaster happen in that effect of the environmental impact? So natural hazards are severe and extreme weather and climate event that occur naturally. Natural means that hazard or disaster happen naturally. That hazard become natural disaster when people lives and livelihoods are destroyed. And there are two types, two broad categories in the natural hazards. One is the geophysical and biological. Geophysical is the earthquake, coastal erosion, volcanic eruption, cyclonic storm, and drought. Biological is the other different disease and infection happen because of the geophysical hazards. And various natural disaster, landslide, earthquake, volcanoes eruption, tsunami, cyclone, flood and cold burst and drought, coastal erosion, wildfire, heat wave and sinkholes. So these are also very important. Which one be coming by the geophysical or which one by coming by the biological hazards. So these are the different types of various natural hazards. And what is the mitigation techniques? Mitigation means how we protect ourselves from these natural hazards. So first is the protection of build environment and natural resource protection and hazard modification through the construction. In earthquake, protection from the earthquake, we constructed new technology with the new technology built a house and emergency service. We create the national in India, national disaster management is there for emergency services and public education and awareness. We create the awareness and create the education and giving the awareness regarding the natural hazard and prevention of the future risk. So because of the natural hazard, what are the future problem or issues will be coming? From there, we need to find the mitigation techniques. These are the mitigation techniques. And next is there are some international agreements are there. We will go through one by one. And before going there, we will look at the Environmental Protection Act 1986. And after in certain 1972, the National Committee on Environmental Planning and Coordination, they issue the environmental protection. The genesis of the Environment Protected 96, the Article 48A, Directive Principle State Policy, we protect the environment, and Article 51, fundamental to as a citizen, we need to protect the environment. That is Article 51 in a fundamental duty of Indian Constitution. There are different environmental act is the Air Pollution Act, Water Act. We will look at one by one. So next is the very important National Plan on the Climate Change, that is called NAPCC. It was launched by the 2008 by the Indian Prime Minister in the Council of the Climate Change. There are 8 national missions in the NAPC, National Action Plan on the Climate Change. So one is the National Solar Mission, National Mission on the Enhanced Efficiency, and National Missions on Sustainable Habitat, and National Water Mission, and National Missions for the Sustaining Himalayan Ecosystem, National Mission for Green India, National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture, and National Missions on the strategic knowledge for the climate change. So these are the 8 national missions on the NAPS, National Action Plan on the Climate Change. So we already shared this. And next is there are in the question they will ask date related with the environment. So you should memorize these days. So mostly in match the following, they asking different date and what are the date happen in important. So they will give March 22, March 21, World Forestry, World Earth Day, one day in date in another column. So these are the important. And so I will share another PDF. Give me 1 minute. So my screen is visible now. Hello, my screen is visible right now. Participants, please reply. Yeah, thank you. So This section is very important. So different type of environment convention and agreements happen during that in that century. So we look at one by one. And first is the Ramsar Convention. It called the Convention on Wetlands. So it was adopted in city of the year city of Iran, Ramsar, in 1971. It came to enforce in 1974. So we don't have any other plans, so we should need to memorize all the years and where it happened and where it come to enforce. And this is the Ramsar Convention 1971 Iran, and came to enforce 1975. And Stockholm Convention, it is a convention on the pesticides and the organic pollutant in adopted in 2001 in Geneva, Switzerland. It came to influence 2004. Before it happened 1972 UN Convention of the Stockholm. We already discussed in that Sustainable Development Goal. And city sites, it is a convention on international trade on endangered species, fauna and flora, adopted 1963. It came into force in 1965. And convention on the biological diversity, it is a convention for the conservation biological diversity. It was adopted in 1992 and came into force in 1993. And Bond Convention is a conversation on the migratory species of the wild animals, adopted 1979, enforced in the 1983. And Vienna Convention, it is a convention for the protection of the ozone layer. Please, ma'am, this is very important convention. It was adopted in 1985 and came into the force in 1885. Montreal Protocol, in the International Environmental Protocol substance and deplete the ocean layer. The ozone, which protocol are convention for the question? Many times they are asking the Montreal Protocol. So depletion of ozone layer, Montreal Protocol adopted in 1987. Here also important, and it came into the 1989. And Kyoto Protocol is reduce the greenhouse gas emission. It was adopted 1997 and came into force 2005. And United Nations Framework Convention on the Climate Change. So it was adopted in 1992 for the especially for the greenhouse gases. It came into enforce in 1994. United Nations Framework UN FCC, especially for control of emission greenhouse gases. And Rio Summit, it is a United Nations Conference on Environment and Development. It was held in 1992 Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. And UNCCD, it is a United Nations Convention on Compact Desertification. It was adopted in 1994. It came into the force in 1996. And Basel Convention, it is a convention on control of the transboundary of movement, hazardous waste, and their disposal. It is adopted 1989. It came into the 1982. And Cartagena Protocol, it was a protocol on biodiversity to convention on the biodiversity, adopted in the 2000. It came into the 2003. UNRED, it is a national of the reducing program on reducing the emission of deforestation and forest degradation, created 2008. Nagoya Protocol, it is an international environment protocol to assess the genetic resources and the fair, equitable sharing of the benefit arising the utilization. Convention of the Biological Diversity, Nagoya Protocol in 2010. It came into the 2004. And COP 24 convention. COP means Conference of the Party. It is a 24th party. It is a part of the United Nations of Framework Convention on Climate Change. It took place 2018. And COP 21 2018. It is a following of the Paris Agreement 2015 and 2016. And Kigali Agreement, it is amendment of the Montreal Protocol. Montreal is the depletion of ocean layer. So it is adopted 2016 and came into the 2019. And Minamata Convention is the treaty, environmental treaty intended to protect the health and the environment from adverse effect of the mercury. Minamata means mercury, control of the mercury effect. Yeah, affected 2000, adopted in 2013, it came into 2017. And Rotterdam Convention is the procedure for certain hazardous chemicals and pesticides and international trades. So COP25, it took place 2019. The conference of the parties based on the UNFCCC. So these are the major convention on the environmental related. So mostly they are asking what are the major convention name and year and which what they, especially the convention made for what the special for the convention. So these are the important convention. I stop it here. If you have any doubt, please asking. You have any doubt? See, these mostly what you all are reading in your higher secondary school or in environmental science subject. Mostly that part will be coming in this section. And conventions are very important. Convention, Millennium Development Goals and Sustainable Development Goals, and types of pollutions, and what other else? A different act in related environmental related act in India. So I hope I cover how many questions. So I already told, every time I told, in paper on there are 10 unit. In each unit they will asking 5 questions. So this section, they in this unit they will asking 5 questions. So if any other doubt, I'll stop it here. Might be I not added in, when I share the PPT, I will add some act related, Air Pollution Act 1971 and Water Act 1982 something. So I add some act in India related things. I will add in the PPT when I share that. So shall we wind up, or you have any question? Please asking. Is it useful or not? I just one way teaching. I don't know you people are understanding or not. Yeah, I will give you environmental lux. Yeah, I'll hook up with the other works. That's why I could not make PPT in proper way. Sorry for that. Okay. Okay, I will share that PPT and previous year question paper. Please work on that. We will tomorrow we will look logical reasoning. That is also very important. Yes, high speed, because I need to finish one hour, because if people are not concentration more than 1 hour, that's why going speed, because the content is very huge. That's why I'm speeding. Sorry for that. Other doubt? Any doubt, especially in environmental people?